What's up, guys? If you need a beta code for this weekend's beta, we'll be live over on my Twitch channel as of this video going up, in which we'll have drops enabled, allowing you to earn beta codes for simply watching the stream and hanging out. If you want to come check out the new stuff and chat all things COD, life, or whatever in between, I'd love to hang out. Links in the description below, but for now, back to the regularly scheduled content. Black Ops Cold War is just about open to the masses now, and while the open beta hasn't kicked in yet, not until Saturday, players who pre-ordered, pre-purchased, or had a code to enter the beta can now do so regardless of platform, either on PlayStation 4, which is actually open because of last week's inclusion, Xbox One, and PC. You can jump in and experience almost all of what Black Ops Cold War has to offer. And totally honest, for the first few hours of playing it this afternoon, right after it went live, man, oh man, am I having a blast with this. And I'd venture to even say that this got so much better as opposed to last week on PlayStation 4 only. Today, I want to break down everything that changed, what's new, and what you can expect to see when you jump into Black Ops Cold War, either again for this weekend or for the very first time. As we go along, let me know your thoughts down below. Are you liking any one thing in particular? For me, it's definitely Fireteam Dirty Bomb, but we'll talk about that more in just a second. As well, if you are new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button to stay up to date with all things Black Ops Cold War, Modern Warfare, and Warzone as we round into an eventful next few months. We're on that road to 400,000 subscribers, so if you'd like to join the community, I would love to have you. But anyways, let's jump into it. With the introduction of the new weekend of play, we have a lot of new content up on deck, and that starts with a new level cap of 31 as of today. Then, come Saturday, it will go all the way up to level 40. Adding in items for unlocks such as the LW3 Tundra Sniper Rifle, the QBZ-83 Rifle, Cold-Blooded and Flak Jacket, the Napalm Strike, the Gunfight Wildcard, and a 10th custom slot as of today, and then things like the RPD, RPG, Magnum, and more, along with the perks of Quartermaster, Ninja, streaks of the Air Patrol and Chopper Gunner, wildcards of Perk Greed, and other equipment and field upgrades come later this weekend, with a level cap increased to 40. But initially, one of the new things and biggest additions that we got as of right now with Weekend 2 is that of the new mode Fireteam Dirty Bomb, which I gotta say, with the squad, was a ton of fun when we jumped in. So we get two brand new maps with this, Ruka and Alpine. Ruka being set in a lush forest, Alpine being set amidst the mountains of a ski lodge and resort, which is absolutely a ski hill. At one point, you can actually jump down and parachute all the way down the mountain and then some. But Dirty Bomb tasks you with a few things. Of course, staying alive, but also collecting uranium by either looting crates around the world or collecting it off the dead bodies of the enemies you drop. Then depositing said uranium, and finally planting and detonating the Dirty Bomb. Now, things definitely get hectic, and I gotta say, you can pull off some crazy cool stuff, like the ninja plant on the bomb right now you'll see on screen, where we came in and basically stole this thing while 3 different teams were fighting it out right in front of me, even with an enemy laying down next to me trying to plant the bomb, while not realizing that that's what I was doing with it. Now, here's a few useful factoids I've found about Fireteam Dirty Bomb. Firstly, you parachute in, and I think that, honestly, it may feel even more fluid than Warzone's parachuting mechanics. Armor is in this mode. It can hold up to 5 plates traditionally, with plates finally working as they should have in Warzone, and how they did in Blackout, giving 100% of a plate. So if you do have half a plate, it will go up an entire tier and into that half of the next one. So the only time that you'll really burn a plate is that if you have 2.5 plates or something like that, and want to go up to a full 3. Uranium that you have to find is pretty abundant, though admittedly, because I don't think crates respawn, I do feel like drops of this could be a little bit more abundant. It takes 20 deposits to prep a Dirty Bomb. While each player can naturally carry 5 deposits, you can go upwards of 10 deposits per, with a satchel that can be found in crates. Bombs can be stolen, if you want to call it that, where other teams can deposit that uranium, but you can activate the bomb, and when it detonates, you end up getting the score from it. Scoring works in relation to kills, deposits, and detonations. It is 1 point for every confirmed kill, not just downed, 5 points for every uranium deposit on a bomb, which again, if you're dropping 5 to 10 off at a time, that's some pretty good score right there for just prepping a bomb, really, and 50 points for every Dirty Bomb detonation. Now, to my knowledge, there are no points granted for simply arming or planting the bomb once it is filled up. The first team to 500 score wins. Once that bomb is detonated, though, it will then spread nuclear fallout in the area and will become hazardous to you as a player, with a radiation icon being able to track how much radiation you've taken before you end up just dropping dead in the left corner of your HUD. Respawns are a thing in this, where you can drop in from the sky, spawn on your teammates if they are not in the action, or on vehicles if they're in one. If your entire squad is wiped, it's a 20-second timer to respawn as opposed to the 10 that it normally is with regular spawns. Downs and revives are still a thing as well. These are Blackout style though, so you can't ping enemies while you're down, and the animation's a little different than that of what we see in Warzone. Revives though are incredibly fast, and self revives are available in crate spawns, also allowing you to get up incredibly fast. Streaks are also available in crates, but the bigger ones like the Hinds and the tanks, which are incredibly lethal, those are intermittent spawns and will be stuff that players will definitely fight over, so keep an eye out for that. But overall, Fireteam Dirty Bomb is an incredible experience. Plus, again, 40 players, big map, a lot of stuff that's carried over from Warzone. I'm really thinking this is going to be something that leads to a new Warzone map. While it's not confirmed, I got a pretty good hunch with that. Next, before jumping into the changes we see on the back end in terms of weapon tuning and all, I want to take a second to talk about today's sponsor, helping bring you today's video and more in the future. That being my friends at Artesian Builds. Now, Artesian and I are working together to make sure that going into Black Ops Cold War and the new year, the PC powering the content you'll see on the channel here and also over on Twitch is the best that it can offer. With a new build coming, including the new 30 series GPUs, with them commercially offering both 3080s and 3090s available. And I want to be able to help bring their building expertise to you. With over 1,000 custom crafted systems in the last year and a half alone, quality parts, again, even those new coveted 30 series GPUs, speedy builds and turnaround times, custom tailoring to the point where they'll even laser etch the glass for you with any design you want, and even the ability to watch them build your rig live on Twitch. They're here to bring you the best build that you can find. Click the link in the description below to learn more and get up to $100 off your next build. As for additional content, though, that's where we can start to see some stuff happen right now, and of course, later on throughout the weekend. Combined Arms Mosh Pit is live right now. That's Assault and Domination, that 12v12 format. That's live all in one right now. But then coming throughout the weekend, we also have modes like Hardpoint and Control, both returning from previous Call of Duty games, so no real explanation truly needed for those ones if you ask me. Then we end up getting some technical changes where we see some sort of patch notes come into effect here, and it's not stuff that's just visible on the front end. And there's some good changes here with this if you ask me. As for movement, we saw a reduction to the initial slide impulse and duration. The reasoning for this is that it was a crunch mechanic that created imbalance in gameplay, and I do think that seeing some of the snaking that was going on, that actually makes sense. It also reduced the Duster stock attachment's slide speed for that same reasoning. As for weaponry, we saw a few weapons get nerfed and buffed. Starting with the Milano 821, this reduced the damage fall-off range, making it a 5-hit kill at 12.8 meters as opposed to a 4, in which it was previously upwards of 19.2 meters as well during the first weekend. So definitely a significant change there. The AK-47 saw a slight recoil reduction, and this was a direct attempt to make it a more viable weapon compared to the XM4 and the Krig 6 found in the first weekend of the beta, being the dominant rifles. The M16 had an increased burst delay from 0.216 seconds to 0.233 seconds, which is a minimal change when you look at it in terms of written out, but it's definitely something that's noticeable. But it was made to try and even out that distribution of shots versus time to kill. So that shorter burst delay offered a little bit more competitive advantage. The Type 63 had some recoil reduction, and this was made in relation to trying to make it easier to chain shots together, and so that you could have that recenter speed. Now, I'll be curious to see how this plays out this weekend, because as a semi-auto marksman rifle, it's similar to the EBR in Modern Warfare. Powerful, but requires consistency to get those kills quickly, so that recoil reduction may just do the trick. The RPD was slightly reduced in its hipfire spread, making it a little bit better and a little tighter in that hipfire spread for close quarters, so you may be able to notice that if you end up playing around with the default class or if you unlock it later on in the beta. And the Gallo SA-12 ended up having an adjustment to the medium range damage. This now requires 3 hits to kill instead of the 2 at medium range. And this was definitely something that I noticed in the PS4 beta weekend. This thing was a monster, especially as a secondary and at decent range, so we'll see where it goes from here. Other than that, we saw a few other technical adjustments in the way of attachment changes, field upgrades, and equipment. For attachment changes, we saw the Agency Suppressor had a reduction in some of its recoil bonuses. Being that it is a heavier suppressor, similar to the Monolithic Suppressor in Modern Warfare, the natural recoil mitigation was perceived as a little too much. This has been adjusted, and you won't see it as much in this weekend now. Field upgrades ended up having the field mic with a reduction to the range at which it can detect players crouching, ADS walking, or moving but not sprinting. Now, this may be something that still is kind of a niche change. It doesn't cover sprinting, it seems like, but it is something that will definitely be noticeable. Then finally, for equipment, rounding out the technical changes here at this, we saw the frag grenade adjusted by having a reduction in the damage to the outer half of the frag grenade splash damage radius, meaning that lethal radius is no longer as lethal. You may get hit markers now even with grenades based upon this change. But again, being that we have things like Flak Jacket finally being introduced and unlockable, you may not die to grenades as much as is. But overall, that is basically the changes here that we had here at this, the new additions and the content changes that we had from weekend 1 to weekend 2 of the Black Ops Cold War beta. A lot of stuff to play around with, a lot of new things to explore, a lot of new things to unlock and get in your hands. So definitely jump on while you have the opportunity to. I know that I'm gonna be streaming it this entire weekend. I'm gonna be playing as much as possible, and so I'm really excited. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section down below. Is there anything in particular you guys are really happy to see changed here out of this? Anything you're really excited to jump into? Whatever it is, let me know. Hopefully you enjoyed though. If you did, make sure to drop a like down below. And of course, if you're new to the channel, make sure you guys subscribe so you don't miss a single thing regarding all things Black Ops Cold War, Modern Warfare, and of course Warzone as we round into an eventful next couple of weeks and months here with the full launch of Black Ops Cold War coming up. If you also want to follow me over on Twitter and Instagram, those are the best places to get connected outside of YouTube. Probably live on both those, so if you guys want to check my conversation, ask me a question, whatever it may be, that link is down there in the description below. That said, thanks so much for watching. My name is Espresso. I'll see you guys later. Take care and peace.